Today we're talking about the Mums at Work network and networking to success.
Welcome to ProfileTree TV. We're here today in the Springfield Road at the Innovation Factory, and we are very excited to have Sinead Norton in from Swift Event Hire and the Mums at Work network. So very welcome to have you here, Sinead. We're very excited. So we're going to get loads of tips and tricks about networking and referrals and event hire and everything. So I'll let you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background, if you don't mind.
Well, the main thing that people know about me is that I'm mummy of 7 children, and that I started Swift Event Hire after I had a laundry company, and it grew naturally into being a company that supplied linens for hotels and for events, and then we started doing weddings and it took off from there. I started that ironing service and laundry service because I wanted to work around my children, and I found it very hard to keep a job with so many children and all the different school pick-up times. So then I started working for myself.
And so then you moved into event hire. So how did you get into that? I know obviously you started off with the hotel and the laundry. That obviously steamrolled into something completely new and different.
It was, at that particular time, chair covers was a pretty new thing. And we had started laundering chair covers for various companies because they needed them turned over really fast from a Monday until a Thursday. And then we realised that the hotels probably could avail of chair covers for different events, formals, christenings, gala balls. And initially we started off as a DIY chair cover hire service for hotels, where they just got them and did them themselves. But then they asked us, do you have the time to put them on? How much would it be for you to put them on? And when we started doing that for the hotels, they started recommending us to the brides. And then we went into weddings, and then we started doing centerpieces and then backdrops and started dance floors, and now we have chairs, sofas, tables, tablecloths, everything for their wedding day.
That's amazing. So you provide like basically the whole room setup?
The whole room setup. And we can do that for different weddings or events, ceremonies. It can be themed up to a certain bride's colours or a certain style that they want.
So what's the process? So a bride comes to you and they tell you their theme, or do they look to you for inspiration?
Brides are looking online on Instagram and Pinterest to see what it is that they want, and they're looking at their venue and thinking, how can I make it like that? And then they come to us and say, can you do it? And we have to say, yes, we can, or sometimes we say, no, this is what you need to do instead.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. So I'm sure you've had some interesting themes.
We have had, yes. We've had all sorts of things. For a few years, everybody was going with the vintage theme. So every other wedding was exactly the same. So we really looked for somebody who's really willing to go a bit more dramatic.
Yes.
Something
a bit
different.
Yeah, and everybody's looking for something different at the minute, aren't they? Everybody wants to do something slightly different to what their friend or their brother or their aunt or their uncle did.
That's right, they do, and some of the hotels provide everything as part of their package, but it also means that everybody's wedding day looks the same. So brides, even though they maybe don't need the same stuff that they needed 5 years ago, that they're still looking for something unique to make their wedding more memorable and to create that wow factor when their guests come into a room.
Yeah, and what would you say would be the common mistakes that couples or individuals make when they're planning a wedding or an event?
First of all, I would say that they're not realistic about what can be achieved in a day.
Yeah.
In the morning, in a couple of hours.
I think that applies to other business sectors as well.
Then I think that they are under a little bit of pressure from family and friends because everybody's giving them advice. It's like a bit like being pregnant and listening to all the different advice and how to raise your very small baby. People are telling you need this and you need that, and maybe they don't need it, and maybe it's not relevant for their wedding, but because their friend had it or their mother wants them to have it or their mother-in-law says you can't have it, you know, there's a lot of people who are whispering in their ear and they get very stressed out about it.
Yes, and as you say, it's managing that stress and enjoying the experience rather than being stressed and worried about everybody else's opinion.
That's right. I think with any business or job, our main job is managing expectations.
Yeah.
What can you do with this budget? How much of it can we do in the morning? And then how can we make it match the idea you have in your head? What is your dream room going to look like? Are we going to come close to it?
Yeah.
Or are we going to match it? Are we going to exceed it based on these factors?
And as you say, so it's not just event hire, it's all that consultation and that expertise and that inspiration and that creativity that you're also providing. So it's a massive service. It's not just come to me and I can get you these centerpieces. It's I can advise you, I can give you the wealth of experience that I've had doing these events before.
That's right, and they might come to me and say, look, I didn't realise that I needed this or I needed that, and sometimes they might say to me, just in an email, I need 100 of these chairs, and it's up to me to try and pull more information out of them to see what they expect the room to look like.
Yeah,
you know.
definitely. And I know you've managed some very large events too. What advice would you have for anyone trying to manage a large event in terms of what service you can provide?
Well, I think the thing is that you have to be very open to being able to work with other suppliers. There's so many different elements to organising an event, from catering and the venue and the sound and lighting and then the decor people, that they all have to be able to work together.
Yes.
And often we are the people then that would really recommend each other to other events as well, because we've worked together before. So if everybody can work together, it's far easier to manage a big event and to make sure that it comes together for the client, because you can't redo it the next day. You can't redo a wedding, you can't redo an event. You can duplicate it and you can take it on the road, but you really need to have really good suppliers who've got good communication skills and who really can work with other people, because it's team effort.
And as you say, it's so important because you don't get to redo these events. It has to be all right on the night, I suppose.
It has to be all right on the night, and often we will help each other out, and that, you know, maybe things are running short of time and everybody pulls together.
Yeah. And setting up your own business and changing your business and pivoting, how difficult was that as a journey for you, especially with managing your children as well?
I do think that it's not as hard as what people think it's going to be. And that's why I say to anybody who's starting out in business, just face the fear and do it anyway. As Mel Robbins says, just do it, because it's never as bad. What's the worst thing that can happen? That if you're listening to your customers' needs and their demands, and you know with confidence that you can supply it, why not try it out? You know, because only you know what you can do.
And you're right, there never is really a good time to set up a business, is there?
No, there's never a good time. If you're waiting on a good time, it's never going to happen. What you have to say is, I'm ready to do it today, and I'm open to these possibilities, and I'm going to try my best.
Yeah.
And that's all you can do, is try your best.
So obviously you have a very successful business yourself, and you probably had so much expertise and experience, and you decided to set up the Mums at Work Network. So what inspired you to do that, and what was your vision when you set that up?
About a year and 3 months ago, I had realised that I was getting very tired with my business, because you're always self-motivating and pushing yourself, but you're also always learning.
Yeah.
And you're sometimes hitting a brick wall, but you don't know how you've got to that stage. Somewhere along the way you've been told, if you work really hard, you're going to be successful. And you keep thinking that tomorrow's going to be the day that I'm not going to have to work just as hard. So I realised that the key to success is not trying hard by yourself, but by asking good questions from other people to find out real life experiences of how to get ahead.
Yeah.
Some wee trick or tip can make a big difference to the way that you do a certain task in your business, and it can make your life a lot easier. And if it's explained to you in just ordinary words from somebody like yourself, that can make a big difference. And so I started up the network for people who were tired of trying and struggling by themselves, to be able to share advice from each other, and in ordinary words, without all the jargon and all the abbreviations, just tell us, how do you do that? And it's been very, very successful, because people like to help other people out.
Yeah.
And they get massive rewards from helping other people, and then other people want to help them. And so it's also a great way of referring other businesses as well who have helped you. And so it's free advertising and free word of mouth marketing. And so it can't go wrong.
It's brilliant. And did you, when you set it up, did you envision it growing so quickly and so successfully?
No, not at all. Whenever I started up the first event, 30 people came, and I was really, really happy. And then tonight we have our event in the Merchant in Belfast, and there's 100 people booked to go. And that hasn't had any marketing done for it at all. It's just people just book and they go. The coffee morning started off with maybe 4 or 6 people coming round for a cup of coffee to get out of the house and to meet people and just to have a moan and a chat, and now there's 20 and 30 people turning up for coffee mornings every week.
It's
all
brilliant.
over the country. It's great.
And as you say, it's so important because especially when you've got sole traders, people that are maybe just starting out that have maybe not been in business before, they really need that support network, because it, as you know, it can be very overwhelming, it can be very daunting, it can be very disheartening when things don't go maybe exactly as what you had envisioned for your business. And actually having that support network of other people with maybe different levels of experience and different skills, and having the opportunity to actually sit down and chat to them is amazing and so integral to the success of a business.
That's right. There was one lady who spoke at an event in Cookstown, and she said when she started up her fitness business, she went all the way to Cork to ask a guy, how did he do it? Basically, she had been doing classes and one-to-ones, and then she doubled them up, and she had to do group classes, and she had only so many hours in the week, and her business was growing rapidly. So she went and asked him, how did you do it? And she was surprised by the fact that somebody who was very successful was able to give her straightforward advice and wasn't a bit shy about giving advice. Wasn't going to hurt his business. But we have this concept in our head that if we ask people for advice, that they're not going to give it.
Yeah.
And it's not true. People like to help other people. Because if you're already doing well in your business, it doesn't hurt to give other people a little bit of advice. And
I suppose, as you say, the events and the coffee mornings is giving people access to ask those questions, because, you know, everybody's busy. You maybe send someone an email asking, could you get a phone call or a 5-minute call, and people are busy, they maybe don't come back to you, then you don't like to be pestering people. But actually having the opportunity to have those people in front of you at a coffee morning and enjoy that, you know, back and forth and get different opinions in is probably just invaluable.
It's great. At a recent coffee morning in Belfast, and there was a lady there who owns a furniture shop, and there was another lady there who is interior designer, and there was another lady there that actually paints, and now this furniture shop is working with both these ladies, and there's paintings hanging in this furniture shop belonging to one of the ladies, and the other one's coming in and you know, consulting with some of the clients on interior design. So it's fantastic. You just don't know who you might meet that can take you to the next stage of your Belfast, and that's just one small example.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And so what services does Mums at Work offer?
Well, Mums at Work has a membership, which is only £50 a year, and we also give those people a directory link on our website. The reason for that is so that they can easily go and find people who are also there to refer them, because you can't. The days of carrying a filofax full of business cards is gone, and they have a private group where they can share advice.
Brilliant.
Some of the ladies in the group are very competent in certain areas, and they are now starting off as Mums at Work trainers, and we're going to be offering very relaxed workshops on certain areas of business.
Wow.
And then we've got people who are also offering their services to Mums at Work members, and they're our partner suppliers. And so it means that we're able to take Mums at Work to the next level, because we've got such a big following now, and we've got a good brand, and that people are really wanting to invest in it a bit more.
Yeah, and that's amazing. From just saying, oh, I want to start, you know, some sort of group that will help mums that are working, or no, it's just another important question. It's not just for mums, is it?
No, there's women in there who maybe do you know, maybe cares for their parents, or maybe their children are all growing up, as half mine are.
Yes.
But the thing is that we never stop learning, and we never stop trying to find out more.
Yeah.
And some of the ladies maybe are employed as well, but they maybe are self-employed as a part-time job as well. And we call these the side hustlers. And then there's people who are freelancers. And then there's other businesses which are far bigger businesses, like, for instance, the Merchant Hotel, who have become a place where we know that we can go to. They're very happy for us to come.
Brilliant.
And it's been fantastic.
Yeah, and it's just grown massively to, as you say, the point that you're doing events, coffee mornings, they're really well attended, and now you're going to look into the idea of training and workshops, and you have partners actually coming in and supporting the business, which is, or supporting the network, which is fantastic. And just back to the question of women, you know, there still is that maybe lack of women in certain industries. Are you still seeing that through, you know, the networking group, and maybe women setting out into businesses that maybe traditionally women didn't do before?
That's true. We've got some business mentors there, and insurance ladies, and people who are maybe in the digital industry, and it's male dominated.
Yeah.
It still is, and we have people there who maybe have been who have been very, very good at their job, but maybe not been able to progress in it because they've gone off on maternity. And when they come back, they don't feel like they can give the same commitment.
Yes.
And they have not got the right structure to be able to progress in their career because of childcare costs.
Yes.
So they've started off on their own in their own business.
And you're right, it is such a big issue, because, you know, having children, and a lot of women want to have children, not everybody does, but a lot of women do. And when you have a child or multiple children, you want to be there for them, you want to be at their school plays, you want to go to their doctor's appointments, you want to go see their teacher. And jobs maybe just aren't always that flexible. Certain companies are very good and other companies are very inflexible.
That's right. And there's a lot of stereotype and bias still around where, you know, people said, well, women wanted it all. You wanted it all. You wanted your job and your family, so well, you go and do it. You know, and so people have done. But there has to be a stage where you say, I should be able to pick and choose what days I want to do what I want to do, and when I want to do it.
Yeah, and it's that flexibility, isn't it?
Yes, these women who are in the group have decided that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We can have it all, but we'll have it on our terms.
And are you seeing opinions changing in industries that were maybe weren't as flexible? Are you seeing any flexibility being introduced? I mean, we are seeing generally us, you know, the flexibility is increasing, but not to the rate of growth that we would like it to, you know.
I don't think it has increased to the rate that it should be. Otherwise, these ladies wouldn't be starting out in their own business. You've a lot of girls there who maybe have had children, and childcare costs are extremely expensive. That whenever they return from maternity leave, or if they need a career break, then they come back and they have to start nearly back at the start in their job. And so if they want to go part-time, then the same possibilities for promotion are not there for them.
Yeah.
And so they're limited because they're mothers. And that's something that we have to address as a society. But at the same time, these are very capable ladies with very good skill sets. So they've started up their own business. So I do believe that we're in the employed world, that women are somewhat limited, that self-employment for these ladies has increased really dramatically, and that this is the new small business in Northern Ireland.
And it's brilliant. It's just brilliant to see that vitality and that excitement and that entrepreneurship really growing, and someone like yourself that's really encouraging that. So you would have obviously people right through from ideas of I'm thinking of starting a business, right to I've been maybe trading for 2 or 3 years, but maybe I'm growing and I need some support. If you have any nice success stories you'd like to share of businesses that wouldn't mind you sharing in the group that have benefited from the group.
I'm trying to think of one now.
Because just I know I'm in the group myself now. I see that people are really interacting and people are really friendly and so supportive and really wanting to help, and if they can't help, signposting you in the direction of other people, and it's so refreshing to see that actually happening. People actively and proactively giving advice and actually pointing people in the right direction. And it could be a programme that's with the council, or it could be a mentor that they know, or somebody that offers a service, and it's just amazing to see that dynamic happening all the time.
It's very exciting. We had a lady in the group who owns a tan company, and she has produced her own tan.
Brilliant.
And she's paid a fortune for marketing and promo videos and social media and websites and e-commerce. And recently she just put a video into the group, and she sent me a message on the Monday to say that she had sold more units from people in the group sharing her posts and for interacting. And because she did a live video, and people like to connect with people that they can see,
yes,
and that they know, that she sold more than she'd ever done, and it was free.
It's amazing.
It's free.
It's absolutely
It's just
amazing.
by putting herself out there. I think the main problem is that people who haven't put themselves out there are holding back, that they're relying on posts on social media. Once they have gone past that stage and done a live video, and they realise that they can go and meet people and they can come out to coffee mornings, that gives them a sense of empowerment.
Yes, and you're right, it is that empowerment. It's having that, even just that comfort to go out to a coffee meeting and know that you've spoke to people in the group, or you know them as well. I think it's because, as you know, with networking, some people love it and some people absolutely, it's their worst nightmare, and they hate walking into a room of people they don't know. But if they're already, you know, interacting in the group and they, don't know the person, but they've chatted to them or they've had advice or they've given advice, those barriers are already down.
The biggest success story I would say from our group is Louise Morrow from Yasmin and Lily, because Louise started her business around the same time as we started the group.
Brilliant. So and she's been there right from the beginning.
She's been there from the beginning. It gave her, she gave her the motivation to start her business. She had made a few wreaths from home and she posted them on social media, and we encouraged her to get a name and to get a Facebook page up because we saw that it was beautiful work, and Louise sold over 1,000 wreaths in the year.
That's amazing. And as you say, from having a concept but I'm not 100% sure to having massive sales and
sales and being so well known, and every time she turns up at a coffee morning, she's turning up with all these packages for people who said, I'll meet you at that coffee morning.
Delivery time. And it's lovely to see that, and I mean, you must feel like a massive sense of accomplishment just enjoying watching those interactions and people really building their businesses and growing their businesses from just, you facilitating that for them.
I think the thing is that whenever you have a business idea and you tell your family and friends about it and you don't do it, and maybe you've got a really good job, like you're a teacher or a solicitor, and you say, I'm going to be this or that, people think that you're a bit mad. Yeah. They say, why don't you just stay in your normal job and get your normal wage and it's nice and stable, and don't be silly, don't be thinking about this. But it nags away at you, I think I should do this. And so when they come into the group, we say, why don't you give it a go? Don't give up your job, but give it a go and see how you get on. And that's the first time that they hear somebody saying to them, do it.
Yeah.
You should do it. And with the support from other people there, then they do it.
Yeah.
And it's not something that you can explain to anybody else, but what all the girls have in common is the knowledge that your dream belongs to you, that nobody else will understand it apart from you. And they've all had that dream where maybe they haven't had the support.
Yes.
And that they can support other people because they understand each other.
Yeah, and as you say, the group is doing a massive amount. You've got your networking opportunities, you've got your support network, you've got your referral, people maybe referring you being able to refer each other, and then you've got all the events and the workshops and the training. So you're doing a massive amount in terms of supporting women and supporting small businesses.
Really trying to, because I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been at every stage that they've nearly been at, and maybe come out the other end with something completely different. Where you start at in your business might not be where you end up. You just don't know the road ahead or who you might meet that'll take you in a different direction.
Yeah, no, and as you say, you don't know, and you have this idea of a business and you don't know where it's going to take you or how it's going to end up. So what would your advice be for anyone that's got a business idea in their head and thinks, this is something I'd really love to do? What would your top tips be?
I would say the first thing you should do is try and find out, is there a need and a demand for it? Yep. Because that will help you understand how much time you're going to be able to put into it, and to listen to people's opinions. Yes, I would need that, but I would like it like this or like that.
Yeah, so actually doing a bit of research.
Do a wee bit of research, just a little bit, because you still are going to do it anyway, but if you have a structure for it,
yes,
and a clear pricing plan, and you know what your end goal is, the next thing I would say is know your end goal, what you want from it, and work your way backwards. How am I going to get to it? Instead of saying, I'll give it a go, but I don't know what I want.
Yes.
Have a real purpose for what you want to achieve by doing it.
And of course, join the Mums at Work Network.
Join the Mums at Work Network and we'll help you out.
Top tip number 3. Yeah. So, no, it's been lovely, really, really lovely to have you in, Sinead. So what is the future for Mums at Work and Swift Events?
Well, for Swift Events, I think now that it's so well known because of the Mums at Work Network. It was maybe already known anyway.
Yes.
But now there's not a person that doesn't know.
So it's been good for your business too?
It's been good for my business too, and it definitely shows that is the perfect example of how being a networker can help you. For Mums at Work, we just don't know where it'll end up. The possibilities are endless. But what I do know is that I don't work as hard anymore, and I'm not killing myself on my own, and that I can ask people for advice.
And that's a success in itself, isn't it?
It
is. So thank you so much for coming in. If someone does want to join the Mums at Work Network or needs to avail of your services for event support, what's the best way to contact you?
The best way is just to join the Facebook group.
Brilliant.
It's got nearly 3,000 members at the moment.
Brilliant.
So I don't know where it'll stop.
Hopefully it's not going to stop, it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. Well, it's been lovely to have you in, and it's amazing to see all the support you're providing to women and startups and all the amazing things that you have in the pipeline as well. So we'll be watching this space to see what you're going to be doing next. And that's all from us today at ProfileTree TV, content marketing agency. I really hope you enjoyed listening to Sinead, and do check in with her and check into the Facebook group, and we will see you again soon.